to others. I was overwhelmed. Please, I'm not here to say, to get faith. This is my moment. I said to you in the beginning, I run to church. Right? I could not believe by the overwhelming love. There was no person on the planet that needed water more than he did. And what did he say? Give it to others. Are we not our brother's keeper? Are we not here to help him? Put on his helmet. Okay. Was his, crown of thorns? Was he marching up his steps of Calvary? Was he marching to his death? Yes, he was. I look back. You're still running. Still looking. Still trying to help. The balance of the descent. When we got to about, the high 30s, you first saw EMS people, you saw, New York City policemen, and they basically said that there is another free stairwell, outside of the ones we were making the descent. And then people made decisions what to do. I decided, the balance of people that were with me, to try to use the other stairwell. And that's when Harry made his own decision. His name is Harry Ramos Jr. Harry died that day, for total stranger. The significance of Harry is the following. He gave his life. Harry was a snappy dresser, a Wall Street trader, a Puerto Rican Roman Catholic. He gave his life for a Hasidim, Jewish, Orthodox person named Joe Walt. Now, how do we know all this? Remember I told you about this guy, Hamadu? There were three of them decided to stay together. Mr. Walt could not negotiate the Senate. He was a little overweight. He could not, again, he was not in shape even to walk down flights. So Harry decided to stay with him. A total stranger. And, in Hung, recalls the story first. That, moments where he couldn't continue walking, Harry suggested, all right, scooch down the steps. Listen, we'll take a break. Let other people walk by. When they finally got to Harry and Hung and Joe Walt, finally said, we got it from here. Joe Walt turned around to Harry and said to Harry, you understand something, guys? You were two total strangers. You never met each other prior to this day. Joe said to Harry, don't leave. Total stranger. Harry had 2 children. Just recently bought a home. Beautiful wife. No, Joe, I'm not going to leave. Hung left. Hung said to Harry, Hung was an investment banker. Harry was the head trader of my firm. And again, Joe Wall was just a person that was in that building that day, total stranger. And they committed to each other. And they died together. Are we not our brother's keeper? Don't leave him, Harry. He could have left. He didn't. Okay, now you're in the 30s, you're making the descent. Okay, from the 30s to ground level of what did you experience? Again, we were fortunate enough that stairway was pretty free. It took us over 50 minutes to come down 87 flights. When we hit the lobby, there's research emergency people, of the EMS, of the firemen, and what a major mistake. Don't look out into the atrium. Don't look out. Just keep moving. So what do we all do? We looked out. And what do we see? The carnage in the atrium. I know, most of you guys are in the first grade. 10 years later, a decade. Please. Am I at peace with this? Closure? I'm way past that. The carnage that I experienced in that atrium. I know you must have heard, again, we're not here to be depressed. We're here to talk about the glorious of life. But the bodies in that atrium, people that jumped out of the building. so they would not succumb to the fire. The reason I'm talking about that is a brother of mine, a kid I won a football championship with. The first fireman to die. His name is Daniel Sir. Monster tight end. I was the wide receiver on that championship football team. The body hit me. I think about Danny all the time. Great human being. Gave his life. Don't look out. Don't look into the edge. 10 steps out of the building. First time I saw an FBI agent. And I walked up to the FBI agent and I said to him, "What happened?" He said, "We've been attacked." In your prayers every day. And it would be in harm's way. Keep a special place in your hearts for these people. It's 10 years. What a tragedy. How many lost lives that day in the sacrifice of young men and women every day for our country. Please, keep them in your prayers. They're the real heroes of the world. 10 steps out of Tower 1. You looked. To see his face of Christ that day. Tower 2. Imploded right on us. I cannot put in words to explain to you where Teresa is, that's where I was, and there was Tower 2, and now it's cascading down. And I wouldn't be here today if I had gone south. It engulfed us so quick. If there's anything that I experienced that, you feel like hell, that was it, the heat. How it engulfed you. How it, moved through your nostrils into your lungs. It had a sound. Hell, I'm burning. And again, if I lost it at that moment, and I lost my bearing, and I did not continue going north, I wouldn't be here today. And again, and you can't open your eyes, because you can imagine the thickness of 100 and some stories cascading down on you. And if you open your eyes, you'd be blinded from the soot and the heat. And I just, I stumbled, but I said, when I got up, I said, okay, if you lose it here, it's over. And it's true. Life does flash by. Thought about my children. Thought about my wife. Thought about so many things. Don't mess up here now. Don't go south. You can imagine cars. It's a little further in life. Let me just keep my eyes open. Let me just keep on walking north. Keep walking north. 5 blocks later, the light I'd seen going north was Chain On Music Book. And then when I opened that door, the rush of the air conditioned air, I lost it. I started yelling. And I'm embarrassed when I'm about to say it now. He said, "Is this your best shot? Is this all you got?" I was so happy to be alive. I was just overwhelmed with just being alive. You can imagine the pandemonium going on during that period. And, what do you do? I mentioned Sean's from the Bronx. I'm always going to be a kid from Brooklyn. And I had a choice either go over the Brooklyn Bridge and try to make it to my parents' home or go uptown. Then I said to myself, I graduated from NYU. There's a church in NYU. And that was my dream. I said, I'm going to get to that church. That's my goal. So I started walking uptown. When I got to the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge, a cop came up to me. And he said, listen, I'd like to minister and start to clean you up. And I said to him, don't touch me. He said, you got issues. I said, I got no issues. I've never been more alive in my whole life. I've never been more cognizant right now than in my entire life. Please, you might be in shock right now. Nope, don't touch me. Again, he said to me, you got some real issues. How about allow me to clean your eyes? I said, okay, don't allow you to. So he washed my eyes. I got to Chinatown. And no cell phones were working. I tried calling my wife, couldn't get through. I'm first generation in this country. My parents were peasant farmers for you. I called my mother, my father, and a neighbor answered the phone. My mother was here in the back, hysterically crying, because she knew I worked there. No one knew if I survived or not. When the neighbor told my mother and father that I was on the phone, they couldn't believe it. So, when she got on the phone, io capisco tutto. Paolo Poco. I talked to her in Italian. She knew I was alright. I insisted that she try to get in touch with Marilyn and make sure that she knew I was fine. Got to NYU, got to the church. There were hundreds of people in church. NYU's got a Catholic faith. Just so good to see so many people in church. I got on my knees and I cried. And I cried for so many reasons. But I now more than ever realize it. Okay, every day is a precious gift. Every day we should be striving for only one thing, for each other. I have family in Greenwich Village. After church, I got to Bleecker and Leroy Street. That's when the family has a beautiful brownstone. And when I made that corner, my cousins came running up to me. And, they shepherded me into the house. I took a shower. It was the first time I got to see what it looked like. That suit I wore that day, those shoes I had that day, yeah, I got them. These were all there forever. After I took a shower, I didn't want to stay in the building. I wanted to be outside. And the next thing I want to share with you is, to this day, this overwhelms me. I was outside with my cousin, and he said to me, do you need anything? He says, yeah, well, this is like, okay, maybe 12-ish. And I said, no, I'm not drinking. I said, I really need some tequila. And so, we sat there and we had some shots of tequila. The cousin came out and gave me a telephone. And I thought it was Marilyn, my wife. I thought it was some family member. It was a call from Israel. Like I told you, I was a chief operating officer of a brokerage firm. And one of my corporate finance clients was a technology company from Israel. The smartest people in Israel become Mossad agents, Secret Service. These two gentlemen, Terrence Julius and Adam Schuster, were on the phone. These are my corporate finance clients. Could not believe that they found me in Greenwich Village, not on my cell phone. They didn't talk to anybody. And this is the conversation went. Adam said to me, John, we'll find Harry. Adam. Hey, John, they're talkers. Today, you became in Israel. Today, you know how we live. And he hung up. Adam wasn't wrong. On that day, I became an Israeli. I became an African American. I became a Muslim. I became a Jayhawk. We are one. That day was the glorious of the days. That day was the best of mankind, not the worst of mankind. Each and every day, live it as it's your last. I said to you, the real reason I'm here, you go home tonight. You walk up to your father, you shake his hand, you give him an extra hug. You see your mother, you give her a nice kiss on both cheeks. You do the Italian way. A classmate you help today, classmate you help 10 years from now, please take your life and have a purpose. Find your faith, and more importantly, find your humanity. Thank you.